Jai Gurudev, dear students, children, welcome again in this science class. You know, we have already completed the previous chapter, and now today we will start chapter number 9, that is soil. Children, you know, soil is very common word and common thing which we all know very well. But here in this chapter, we will study about soil in some detail. Means what is the composition of soil, how soil is formed, and what is a soil profile, and different type of soil also we study in this chapter. So let's study its introduction first. Here children, in the introductory part, here they have written dig some soil and observe. मीन्स कहीं से भी आप सॉइल को डिग करिए, खोदिए और फिर आप उसको देखिए. You can use a magnifying glass to have a clearer look. What do you see? Means when we see through the magnifying glass, what we will see? You may see pebbles. Pebbles means छोटे जो कंकड़ होते हैं. Decaying grass or leaves, some worms wriggling in the soil. On a closer look, we can find that soil is teeming with life. It is not only influences plant health but also is home to many bacteria, fungi, etc. We are all directly or indirectly dependent on soil for food and other resources. So children, in the introductory part, they are trying to say that soil is ultimate source of all the food materials. You know that ultimately we depend on, or all the animals depend on plants, and how the plants grow. Plants can't grow without soil. So that's why we can say soil is an ultimate source or ultimate home of every individual, or we can say it is a resource on which every individual directly or indirectly depend on. Okay, so children, after this they have written here in the next paragraph soil and its formation. So what is soil? First, you know, soil is the uppermost layer of the earth's surface where plants grow. So children, all we have seen soil, everywhere we can see it, but how it is formed, this is the main process. And what is a soil? In this, first you should know it is the uppermost layer of the earth, and second you should know that how it is made up of. So it is a mixture of decaying organic matter, broken rocks, minerals, and some living organisms. And the process of formation of soil is called as weathering. Okay, means soil कैसे बनती है, ये process से soil form होती है, weathering process. So this weathering can form soil through physical or chemical changes. Means this process is undergoing some of the physical changes and some of the chemical changes also. So let's see, in these points they have written how the soil is formed. That rainwater entering crevices of rocks expand due to freezing. This disintegrate the rocks into smaller pieces. So children, the meaning of this first point is that when rainfall there, or when rain fall on the rocky particles or rocks, there are some क्रिवाइसिस मीन्स जो रॉक्स में दरारें होती हैं, cracks in the rocks, they are called crevices. So rain water when fall on those expanded crevices, this disintegrate the rocks, means वहाँ से कुछ पार्टिकल्स जो होते हैं वो सेपरेट आउट हो जाते हैं, डिसइंटीग्रेट हो जाते हैं वहाँ से. Okay, so they disintegrate into smaller pieces, rock material disintegrate. And second point, the broken down pieces of rocks roll down due to the force of wind or flowing water. So they slowly these broken rock pieces, they slowly roll down, and either with the help of wind or with the help of flowing rainwater. Okay, and because of these this activity, fine particles are formed. They help to make soil, and these fine particles sometimes they mix with the humus or other minerals also, and then they can form soil. And third point is, root of trees growing through rock exert pressure against the rocks and cause cracks leading to weathering. Means roots of the tree also which grow near the rocks, or some of the trees they can grow on the rock also where they find way, and their roots when they grow through those rocks, they create pressure against the rocks, and due to which rocks that cracks will be formed, and these cracks ultimately going through these processes which we have studied in 1 and 2 point. So these rocks, when they come through the cracks, and then they lead to the weathering, means formation of soil. And next point they have given that variation in temperature also causes physical weathering of rocks. Means sometimes when rocks becomes hot and then again cool, again hot and again cool, because of variation in temperature also, this is a physical process, so they also help the rocks to expand, sometime contract, and because of this process rocks crack. Okay, and through those cracks, when rainwater falls, then they start disintegration. They start disintegrating, and ultimately they form soil. Okay, so these are the some processes which they have mentioned here. And after that, in the next point, high temperature in hot and humid climate can cause chemical weathering of rocks. Means during the high temperature in hot or humid climate, when there is humidity also and hot weather is also there, means temperature is more, at that time during the rainy season, we can say during this season chemical weathering takes place, means formation of soil takes place due to chemical changes. There are some chemical changes also, because rock materials are made up of mineral particles. So mineral particles, they react with each other, that is called chemical change, and because of that new products which form, or new chemicals which form, they can cause weathering, means formation of soil. So minerals present in rocks react with oxygen, and such oxidized rocks crumble to form soil. You know that when any mineral, or we can say when iron react with oxygen, that rust is formed. Okay, in the same way we can understand here also, minerals when react with oxygen, that time oxidation reaction happens, and because of oxidation, this these rocks, they form soil. Okay, so in the next paragraph they have given some bacteria break down dead animals and plant matter, adding humus to soil, making it fertile with organic and nutrient content essential for plant growth. So children, you know, on the earth or in the soil, many plant materials, or we can say animals, some insects, they add or they die and they mix with the soil, and some bacteria or some fungus, they degrade these materials, plant or animal materials, and convert them into a humus, which is a organic material. It is formed after the decomposition of dead plants and animals, and it provide nutrients to the soil, so it makes the soil fertile. So children, this is about how the soil is formed and what makes the soil fertile, and how different physical and chemical changes takes place due to different processes soil is formed. And next topic is components of soil. So children, in the components of soil, we will study about the different things which are present in the soil. So first are the mineral particles. Many type of minerals are present in soil, like magnesium, iron, potassium, calcium, and many more. Okay, so many of the particles, mineral particles, they are also present in soil. Means mineral particles are the main components of soil. So second is humus. Humus, I told you that it is a black, or we can say dark brown organic component, which is made up of decaying animals or decaying organisms which provide nutrient to the soil. Means fallen leaves, twigs, or some insects when die, and waste material of animals also, when they mix with the soil and they decomposed by the action of bacteria and fungus, and after that they will change into humus. Okay, and this makes the soil fertile. And next is water. Water is also present in soil. You know, that's why plants can grow in the soil, because through their roots plants take water easily, because water is present in the soil. And after that, living organisms. Children, when we dig up a soil, we can see many small insects, earthworms, roundworms, centipedes, ants, even bugs, and so many small creatures we can see in the soil. So this is also, you know, it is not a some new thing which I am telling you. We know soil is a home of many small creatures. Okay, so living organisms are also part of soil, so it is also coming under the components of soil. Okay, and after that, children, you should know soil has many pores also, through which water can pass through them, and air also can fill in between the pores of the soil. So that's why air is also one of the component of soil, because air is also present in the soil, and those organisms which live in under the soil, they easily can breathe that air which is present in it. Okay, so after means these are the components of soil, and after that next topic is soil profile. So what is a soil profile? Through this diagram I can show you. Soil profile means arrangement of different layers of soil. This is the top layer of soil, okay, where plants grow, means top layer of the earth is called top soil, or it is also called as a horizon. Okay, and a horizon is a topmost layer, and it consists of humus and many kind of minerals. It is generally dark in color. Understood? And after that B horizon is there, means from here to here B horizon is there, which is written here. It is also called subsoil, means top soil के जो just नीचे का part है उसको क्या बोलेंगे? Subsoil or B horizon. So children, in B horizon there are fine rock particles and some of the nutrients such as iron oxides or some kind of other minerals also present in this layer. Okay, some rocky particles also there, and because it is just below the topsoil, that's why some minerals are also present in this layer. After that, third layer is C horizon, means from here to here this layer is called C horizon. ये जैसे हम स्टडी कर रहे हैं वैसे हम सॉइल के अंदर डीप जाते जा रहे हैं. Okay, when we dig up a soil, then we can find these layers. So C horizon is also called as parent rock. Okay children, so in this layer, what is present in this layer? In this layer, fine pieces of rocks are present. See here, rock pieces you can see easily. With the crevices they written here. Crevices means यहाँ पे बीच में इनके spaces भी होती हैं, दरारों के थ्रू, जिसके थ्रू water जो है वो नीचे चला जाता है. Okay, and this soil is formed from the parent rock material over thousands of years by the process of weathering. Means mainly why we call it as a C horizon or parent rock, because here this layer is formed slowly after the formation of these two layers. So it is a parent of these two layers, that's why we call it as a parent rock. And after that, last or basic layer is called as bedrock. Okay, and this bedrock, as you can see in this diagram, there are so many solid rock layers, you can see easily here. So this layer is hard because of this rocky material, and it is non porous also. इसमें पोर बहुत ही कम होते हैं, या तो होते ही नहीं है या फिर बहुत ही कम होते हैं. आप देख रहे हो कैसे टाइटली सारी रॉकी मटेरियल जो है, रॉक्स जो हैं, स्मॉल पीसेस, दे टाइटली अरेंज्ड विद ईच अदर. सो रेन वाटर कलेक्टेड इन दिस लेयर फॉर्म द वाटर टेबल, और ग्राउंड वाटर जिसको हम बोलते हैं वो इस लेयर के बीच में ही स्टोर होता है. अंडरस्टूड? सो चिल्ड्रन, जैसे ही रेनफॉल होती है, वाटर इस सरफेस से होके, बिकॉज सॉइल हैज़ सो मैनी पोर्स, थ्रू दोज पोर्स water passes from the top soil to subsoil, and after the percolation, means due to the percolation or seepage, we can say, slowly water passes from the subsoil to the parent rocks, and from this layer ultimately water goes to the here bedrock. Okay, why it is called bedrock? Because it is the basic layer, or it is at the base, and it forms a bed of this soil profile, which is made up of rocky material. So children, this is about the soil profile. After that, type of soil, means soil is also of many types. So first type of soil is clayey soil. You know children, clayey soil is sticky kind of soil, slippery kind of soil, and it is generally grayish brown in color and cannot pass enough air through it, means it has very less pores. Because of their smallest particles, they are made up of this type of soil is made up of smallest particles. Okay, just like powdery particles. So that's why they are having less pores and less air can go through it, and water also, if it absorb water, it will not easily eliminate. वो पानी को जल्दी ना तो एब्जॉर्ब करती है ये लेयर, इसकी जो क्लेई सॉइल होती है, और ना ही बहुत जल्दी वाटर को वो अपने से इवेपोरेट होने देती है, मीन्स इट कैन होल्ड वाटर if it absorbs. After that, next type of soil is sandy soil. You must have seen sand. It is a kind of sandy soil and it is light brown and mainly consists of sand particles. Means इसमें sand ज़्यादा होती है, बाकी सारा कुछ कम होता है. So sand has large pores, so many pores, and that's why air can easily pass through it, or we can say that it can easily absorb water. Okay, but unable to retain water. Water को ये hold करके नहीं रख सकती. इस टाइप की सॉइल, जितना वाटर हम इसमें डालते जाएंगे वो तुरंत नीचे चला जाएगा, इसमें से पास हो जाएगा. ओके, सो after this, next soil is loamy soil. Loamy soil is a mixture of sand, silt and small amount of clay. So children, this is a kind of soil which is a mixture of three kind of soil: sandy soil, silt is also a kind of soil which is formed made up of fine particles of soil, just like dust. Okay, and it has also small amount of clay. So loamy soil is best for the gardening or cultivation purpose, crop cultivation purpose, because it has all the variety of soils, and it can provide nutrient to the soil. It has humus also, and it is well aerated. Air is also present in it, and water holding capacity is also good in this soil. That's why it is best soil for crop cultivation or gardening. Okay children, so after that, next topic is properties of soil. So children, under the properties of soil, first property is texture. When we touch any kind of soil, from its texture we can understand that whether it is clay, loamy or it is sandy. Okay, so it has proper texture. The texture of a soil can texture of the soil only can tell us that soil has how much amount of particles, what is the size of particles, or which kind of minerals are present in it, and what material is there in the soil. Okay, so that is called texture. So children, after texture, next property is percolation of water in soil. Means water के थ्रू सॉइल के थ्रू कितना वाटर जो है वो पास होके नीचे जा सकता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड परक्यूलेशन ऑफ वाटर. Okay, so percolation of water is also one of the main important feature of soil, because if percolation can happen through the soil during rainwater, then only groundwater table, or we can say groundwater level can increase and we get enough water. Okay, means how much water can ooze or seep or filter through the soil beneath the surface, that is called percolation. Understood? So different soil types has different percolation capacity. If soil is clayey, there is less percolation. If soil is sandy, then percolation is more. If it is loamy, then it is moderate kind of percolation capacity of soil. So it is also one of the main important property of soil. After that, moisture in the soil. So children, soil has water molecules also, or we can say some water content which is present in the form of moisture. So that's why plants' roots can easily absorb water through the soil. Okay, through means their roots, and moisture is also one of the main property of soil. Without moisture, no soil is perfect for cultivation of crops. And next is absorption of water in soil. Means how much water is absorbed by the soil. This is also one of the main property of soil. If soil will not absorb enough water, then that soil is not best for crop production. So loamy soil is best for crop production because it has proper absorption of water. ना तो इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा absorption होता है, ना ही बहुत कम होता है. Okay, how much water is required by the plants or by the crop plants, that much water can absorbed by the loamy soil. That's why it is a best for crop cultivation. So absorption of water in soil is also one of the main property of soil. And next is a soil and crops. Under this topic also, children, they have mentioned here in this paragraph that soil also affect by the rain, wind, sunlight, temperature and humidity. Means ये जितने भी factors हैं ये soil को affect करते. Okay, if rain is so much, then flood will come and uppermost layer of the soil can wash away. So at that time also soil can't be fertile because uppermost layer of the soil can wash away and or erode away, we can say that, and soil become barren. Okay, infertile. Or soil erosion can also caused by wind. जब बहुत ज़्यादा सैंड स्टॉर्म्स आते हैं या स्टॉर्म्स आते हैं, विंड स्टॉर्म्स आते हैं, तो उस टाइम पे भी सॉइल इरोजन होता है. तो दैट विल ऑल्सो मेक द सॉइल इनफर्टाइल. and due to sunlight so much evaporation takes place and soil is deficient from water. Okay, so that's why sunlight can also affect the soil, and temperature also affect the soil. That if temperature is more, then evaporation will be more, then water or moisture will be decreased in the soil. And humidity, if proper amount of water vapors are present in the soil, then only we can say this is a good soil for production, for the growth of plants. So these all the factors affect the soil. Understood? And after this they have written that different type of crops or vegetation we can grow in different regions. It depends on the soil, means the type of soil decide the which kind of crop we can grow on those areas. So here they have given example that Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana and Madhya Pradesh are some wheat producing states in the country. Why wheat is grown here? Because of the soil, particular type of soil present in these states. Okay, but in case of West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh are the largest rice producing states in India. Because of the availability of water in these states and proper time of monsoon, these area has a kind of soil, loamy soil, which is best for the growth of crop production, and that's why main wheat or rice, these kind of crops we can grow in these areas. Understood? So cotton plants we can grow in the well drained sandy loamy soil. Means sand can also present in this kind of soil, and it is a loamy soil but sandy, well drained sandy soil also there. Then only we can grow cotton plants. Understood? So children, conclusion of this paragraph is that we can only decide the type of crop according to the soil type of that area. Understood? And after that children, soil as a natural resource. You know, soil is a natural resource. Human can't make soil. It can be formed. It is means continuously it is forming by the natural processes, physical or chemical processes, which we have studied already. And it is a natural resource, so it provides us food in the form of different plant materials. Okay, and they also provide us fuel, clothes, means all the plant products which we have studied in the junior classes also. And so many kind of animals are living there, or microorganisms are living there, which help in fertility of soil, or we can say nitrogen fixation, such kind of things. And many of the things which we get from plants, that ultimately because of soil. So everything we can mention here. And here they have written that natural resources like coal, petroleum and natural gas were formed from the dead remains of living fossils in soil. Means जब बहुत सालों तक जो प्लांट्स और एनिमल्स सॉइल में बरिड हो जाते हैं, तो मिलियंस ईयर्स के बाद फिर उनसे कोल और पेट्रोलियम फॉर्म होते हैं. Okay, so these kind of materials also कैन बी फॉर्म्ड बिकॉज ऑफ सॉइल. अगर सॉइल ना हो तो ये मटेरियल भी फॉर्म नहीं हो सकते. एंड here they have written that clay is used to make bricks, pottery and tiles. Clay is also kind of soil, so from this we can make different materials. And water which seeps into the soil and stored as underground water, which is used for drinking and various other purposes. Means water we use in our daily life, that is also because of soil, because rainwater when fall on the ground, then it seeps through the soil particles, then it can increase the underground water level, which we further use for our daily purposes. Okay, so conservation of soil. Conservation means to take care, to save, to protect the soil. This is coming under the conservation. So we should prevent the soil erosion. Soil erosion means soil का बह जाना, या तो उड़ जाना उसकी टॉप लेयर का, या फिर बह जाना. That is coming under the soil erosion. So either soil erosion takes place with the help of flood or by the wind storms. So these all the activities we can't stop. These both are the natural causes, but some of the causes are in our hands, which we can prevent, like human activities like overgrazing, बहुत सारे प्लांट्स को काट देना, डिफॉरेस्टेशन कर देना, फॉरेस्ट लैंड को बिल्कुल खाली कर देना, फॉरेस्ट के ट्रीज को कट कर देना, कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ रोड्स एंड बिल्डिंग्स. For these purposes, means for road and for building construction, we are continuously cutting down the trees, and we can remove the grasses from large grasslands. Ultimately they can lead the soil erosion. जहाँ से पूरे plants और पूरे ट्रीज खत्म हो जाते हैं, वहाँ क्या होता है, वहाँ सॉइल इरोजन होना स्टार्ट हो जाता है. ओके, बिकॉज रूट्स ऑफ द प्लांट्स दे टाइटली होल्ड सॉइल पार्टिकल्स एंड they will not let the soil erode. Okay, so we should stop these activities, then only we can protect the soil or conserve the soil, top layer of the soil. Okay, and also we should prevent soil pollution. Soil pollution, how we can prevent? By removing the toxic material, or by not throwing the non-biodegradable things in the soil. We should separate out non-biodegradable things from, or toxic chemicals from our garbage, and we should send these things for recycling. Okay, so children, in this way we can protect our soil, or we can prevent the soil pollution. And after that, reforestation, जहाँ से हमने फॉरेस्ट को कट कर दिया है, वहाँ दोबारा से reforestation करना, दोबारा से फॉरेस्ट बनाना. Again we should plant the trees on those large scale forest areas. Okay, that is called as reforestation. So it is also one of the main reforestation is also one of the main practice to save the soil or protect the soil. And next is terrace farming. In mountain or hilly areas, people often grow crops on slopes, cutting flat areas called terraces. This method of growing crop is called terrace farming. This can prevent the water that flows down the slope from carrying away the soil, thereby reducing soil erosion. So children, this is called terrace farming. आपने माउंटेन एरिया में देखा होगा, लोग ऐसी हिली एरिया में क्या करते हैं, एक जो स्लोप्स होती हैं उनकी कटिंग्स जो होती हैं उन पे प्लांट्स ग्रो करवा देते हैं, वहाँ पे क्रॉप प्रोडक्शन करते हैं। दिस क्रॉप प्रोडक्शन एक्टिविटी और प्रैक्टिस प्रिवेंट द सॉइल इरोजन। ये जितने भी प्लांट्स हम इस पे ग्रो करते हैं वो सॉइल पार्टिकल्स को टाइटली होल्ड करके रखते हैं, जिसकी वजह से वो इरोजन नहीं हो पाता और सॉइल जो है वो इरोजन होता ही नहीं है, वहाँ से लैंडस्लाइड्स नहीं हो पाते हैं। तो इट कैन प्रोटेक्ट द सॉइल in the mountain or hilly areas due to terrace farming. So it is also one of the main practice for of soil conservation. And next is a crop rotation. Children, crop rotation is also one of the best practice of increasing soil fertility. हम बार बार जब एक ही क्रॉप को ग्रो करवाते हैं एक ही फील्ड में, तो उसमें से कुछ जो न्यूट्रिएंट्स होते हैं वो कंटिन्यूअसली कंज्यूम होते जाते हैं। देन दे विल दैट सॉइल कैन बी डेफिशिएंट ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर न्यूट्रिएंट। बट व्हेन वी रोटेट द क्रॉप्स, मींस पहले हमने वीट को ग्रो करवा लिया, वीट की कटिंग की, तो उसके बाद हमने राइस की क्रॉप को ग्रो करवाया, या फिर कुछ दालें उसमें पल्सेस प्लांट ग्रो करवा लिए, तो उससे क्या होता है, क्रॉप्स रोटेट होती रहती हैं। एक क्रॉप एक टाइप के न्यूट्रिएंट्स को लेती है, दूसरी क्रॉप दूसरे टाइप के न्यूट्रिएंट्स को ले लेती है। तो इन दिस वे क्रॉप रोटेशन कैन बी डन इन प्रैक्टिस so that we can maintain the fertility of soil. And building dams and embankments on river control floods and prevent soil erosion. हम डैम्स बनाते हैं या एम्बैंकमेंट्स करते हैं। एम्बैंकमेंट्स मीन्स रिवर के साइड पे जो आपने देखा होगा बहुत सी प्लेसेस पे रिवर्स के साइड पे जो रॉकी मटेरियल होता है, जो पत्थर होते हैं उनको लगा के और एक उनका एम्बैंकमेंट बनाया जाता है, रिवर बैंक बनाया जाता है। तो वो जो एम्बैंकमेंट की जाती है वो किस लिए की जाती है, फ्लड्स को कंट्रोल करने के लिए। ओके, सो दैट फ्लड वाटर और दैट एक्स्ट्रा वाटर विच फ्लोज through the river that cannot be go to the nearby land areas. ओके, तो इससे अगर फ्लड नहीं आएगा तो सॉइल इरोजन भी नहीं होगा, तो इट कैन कंट्रोल द सॉइल इरोजन. एंड नेक्स्ट इज यूज ऑफ ऑर्गेनिक मैन्योर एंड वर्मिंग कंपोस्टिंग. means we should always go for organic manure. Organic manure means देसी खाद जो हम प्लांट्स और एनिमल से के वेस्ट मटेरियल से ही बना लेते हैं, इसका हमें ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा यूज़ करना चाहिए. एंड वर्मी कंपोस्टिंग इज़ अ कंपोस्ट, और ये ऐसी खाद होती है जो हम अर्थ फॉर्म का यूज़ करके बनाते हैं. वेस्ट मटेरियल को हम एक प्लेस पे कलेक्ट कर लेते हैं, उसमें अर्थ फॉर्म्स को छोड़ देते हैं, और अर्थ फॉर्म्स कैन ईट अप those waste materials. They feed on the waste materials and convert that waste material into compost. तो ये भी एक बहुत अच्छी प्रैक्टिस है, और इस टाइप की जो खाद है या ऑर्गेनिक मैन्योर है या वर्मी कंपोस्ट है, वो सॉइल में न्यूट्रिएंट बहुत ज़्यादा इंक्रीज़ करती है और सॉइल को किसी टाइप की हार्मफुल इफ़ेक्ट नहीं पहुंचाती. ओके, इन प्लेस ऑफ दीज ऑर्गेनिक मैन्योर्स इफ़ वी यूज़ फर्टिलाइजर्स, chemical fertilizers slowly make the soil barren by increasing either its acidity or its alkalinity. Okay, या तो वो एल्केलाइन बना देती है सॉइल को या फिर एसिडिक बना देती है. दैट्स वाई वी शुड गो फॉर ऑर्गेनिक मैन्योर. एंड लास्ट टॉपिक इज प्रॉपर डिस्पोजल ऑफ सीवेज. हमें जो हमारा सीवेज वाटर होता है उसको प्रॉपर डिस्पोज करना चाहिए. इससे हमारा सॉइल पोल्यूशन जो है वो नहीं होगा, बिकॉज आर सीवेज कंटेन मैनी हार्मफुल काइंड ऑफ chemicals. If we throw this sewage or we drain this sewage in the open soil, it can pollute that area or pollute the soil of that area. Okay, so that's why we should go for proper disposal of sewage. So children, this is all about this chapter, and up to this chapter, chapter number this is your chapter number 9. So chapter number 9 is the last chapter of your half yearly portion. So after this, children, I'll send you PDF of question answers. You should write down question answers after watching this video, and complete your notebook for half yearly portion. Okay, so Jai Gurudev to all of you.